The idea for Food Camp for Kids came about with the understanding that many people are disconnected from where their food comes from, especially youth. The idea was if we could teach them where their food comes from with actual experiences of seeing the livestock or the grains or the bees, the apple trees, the dairy cattle, that they might reconnect with actually where their food comes from, not just off the shelf or through the drive-through.
So Food Camp for Kids was a 6-day, 6-hour-a-day camp that included field trips, hands-on cooking activities, and a lot of discussion and in-class preparation for the final presentation.
Well, the field trips were really fun and informational.
You know, one day was focused on beef, so we went to a feedlot.
One thing I found interesting was that the baby Holsteins were very friendly and curious of what we were doing because they were fed by humans.
I didn't know that cows eat granola bars and cereal.
And then went to a grass-fed operation.
There are black and red Anguses.
A black cow and a black bull can make a red cow. I found it interesting that she carried on like the business because her dad did the business and then she did the business.
We were able to go to a local meat processor so that they could see the animals, the carcasses, and how they were broke down into, you know, the retail cuts.
I thought it was just a lot of knives doing whatever they wanted, but I didn't know there was actually a whole thing in it.
Of a 1,300-pound cow, only 1 cup of fluid doesn't get used.
From there we went on to a pork producer so they could see pigs on the hoof.
Pigs are really big.
Pigs' weight could be like 700 pounds. Whenever they're like 200 pounds, that they send to the butcher.
Pigs spit through their mouths and their hooves.
Baby pigs before being born, they take 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
Then we went to a dairy where they could witness the cows actually being milked.
And they milk 2,800 cows twice a day. They have 2 6,000-gallon containers and 1 10,000-gallon containers. They have, on average, 4 trucks that carry 6,000 gallons of milk going out every day. On average, 20 calves born every day.
We went to a grain mill so they can understand where bread comes from as far as the grains and being milled into flour.
It had been running since 1914. I found it interesting when the mill was running.
He rebuilt everything from the old equipment.
I bought sopapilla mix and I'm going to make sopapillas.
We went to a apple orchard and a honey farm so they could see where apples come from, how they produce on the tree, the challenges of pests and insects and drought, and then also honey and how it's produced and how many bees it takes and how active they've got to be in order to produce honey that we take for granted for the most part. We got the opportunity to go to a berry farm, raspberry farm, where they also have free-range chickens, which helps them with their organic raspberries for insect pests. Kids had an opportunity to have lunch and interview a chef at a local restaurant that tries to utilize a lot of their products from local growers. In addition, they have their own organic garden.
I thought that it was really cool that they use all their stuff that they grow for their food.
The kids got a great opportunity to learn about a lot of not only where their food comes from, but a lot of the occupations that are incorporated into the food industry and agriculture industry.
So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we provided the kids with hands-on opportunity where they could take the food products they had learned about the day before and actually get into the kitchen and prepare recipes using those particular products.
I like the cooking days, well, because they were fun.
Always liked cooking. I always wanted to cook.
So the kids were responsible for selecting recipes, creating a grocery list, going to the grocery store, dividing up in teams, purchasing the supplies, and then coming back to the office and preparing their lunches.
During the cooking portion, we made black pepper biscuits with sausage gravy and a wonderful fruit salad.
We made foil packet dinners, corn on the cob, asparagus.
You take the whole corn, you cut the bottom off. You cook the corn in its husks in the microwave for 6 minutes. And then when you take it out, you let it cool, and then you're able to squeeze it out onto your plate.
I made scrambled eggs before, but I never got to make over easy eggs. And
So we did have 2 of our Extension Association of New Mexico, our EANM members, come in and assist the kids. One provided an opportunity for the kids to learn how to make biscuits from scratch.
I got a really important job on Saturday, and it is to make 140 biscuits.
And I figured that between the 2 camps, she, along with our participants, probably made over 400 biscuits. And then we did have another of our EANM members who has gone through NMSU's Master Food Preservation Program. She came in and she visited with the kids about food preservation and provided them with an opportunity to experience food preservation by having them make freezer jam. And as you can imagine, that was a favorite experience of the kids. The youth had an opportunity to practice mealtime manners, and also they learned about food safety and kitchen safety, as they had a lot of responsibility working with kitchen tools and equipment that can be dangerous.
I learned about just like not leaving things out and making sure everything's like making sure that you wash your hands, making sure that everything's clean.
So we set some pretty high expectations for the youth participating in the camp. The youth were responsible not only in just attending the field trips, but they had a responsibility to capture the week using iPads from the learning labs at New Mexico State University.
I thought it was really nice of the people that lent the iPads to us because they were very useful with pictures.
They took pictures and video. They were also responsible for interviewing the producers and growers that we visited and then capturing the experience, not only, like I said, with pictures and video, but also in writing up a script. We had the expectation that at the end of the 6-day camp, the youth would be presenting their experiences to a group of approximately 30 to 40 adults. The participants not only met our expectations, they exceeded our expectations.
We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our Food Camp for Kids sponsors. Importantly, New Mexico Beef Council for sponsoring both beef days. Without their support, the youth would not have been able to experience the beef industry as they had. Valencia County Farm and Livestock Bureau for sponsoring one full week of camp. Without the support of all of our sponsors and hosts, we would not have been able to provide this opportunity for the youth of Valencia County.